Buy Phoenix, you buy local. Yeah, buddy.
Hello, hey everybody. So yeah, we're gonna be going over cleaning PC today, but I'm gonna start off in the captain's chair real quick, just so I can scroll through chat real quick, say hello to everybody before getting started. Which, speaking of, Crystal, hello. Is this stream because of the dust in your PC? No, this stream is because I'll be honest. I also have been slacking. I have not cleaned my PC or this PC is my girlfriend's PC. I have not cleaned either PCs in a little while now, so it's overdue. And I figured, hey, why not take this chance to not only get some cleaning done, but show everyone some tips and tricks. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to oversell it, but you know, some people just don't know really where to start sometimes. So hopefully this will help those people. We're not gonna be doing anything too crazy. Literally just gonna be doing some routine cleaning. And if I have time, I may recable manage, because this PC was built before I actually kind of got into PC building. So yeah, but anyways, Knox, hello. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Now it's your turn to check in on the cool PC Maker cleaner. Yeah, so Wednesday will be a good day to stop by to check out the building PCs. Or like I said, if I have time, cable manage, redo this one. But I'm a little afraid to touch it, and I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But planless, is this what happens when we all have our PCs on the floor? Yep, this is what happens. You have me scolding you. No, bad. Get it off the floor. Okay, it's not the end of the world, but just, you know, give your PC some love. It deserves it. High budget item. Dev subscribe, 12 months. Let's go. Red shirt is judging you. Hey, I'm only judging you if your PC's on the floor. Clean your PC by dunking in a bath now and then. Hey, you know, listen. We've learned not too recently that that PCs can be pretty hardy if you do things right. Or just use the fan. Linus used the 8 horsepower one. I watched that video. You're talking about the one where they had to open the doors because it was like making the door bulge. Yeah, that was crazy. They mess with some crazy stuff. If not properly secured, may no longer be in the same room. That can be resolved later as you pick up the parts. Yeah, cool intro. Yeah, thank you. We need to do some more. Papa's here in his champ chair. Yeah, this is the captain's seat. But yeah, in a second I'm gonna head over there, and looks like I'm getting caught up with chat. How do we unplug the PC before we start cleaning it, or do we just risk getting electrocuted and ending up like Edgar? I'm glad you asked that, because obviously I had to, you know, go ahead and unplug everything to bring it over. But I am gonna go over that. How do you clean your PC? My water blasting is always done outside. Goodness. Sheriff guy, hello. Gotta ask, how do you clean Dell PC? Dunk it in water? Oh boy. Listen, you know, those Optiplexes and stuff, not the best, but you know, sometimes you gotta start somewhere, and you can clean those as well. If you guys want, I will try and go grab one of my old computers, and I can open it up and we can go over the internals. But yeah, how do you clean your Optiplex? Help please. Oh boy. Okay, I can see you guys gonna be a little goofy, gonna give me a hard time. You use your bathtub, right? Ha ha ha. Which I've already started off on the wrong foot, because I think I forgot my can of air. But let's get over here. Okie dokie. Seen on here. Boom. There we go. Yeah. Here's the PC. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, let's like Crystal said, how do we unplug the PC before we start cleaning it? Beautiful question. So, you know, everyone does their own thing. For washer, 3 monitors on it right now. 2 GT 1030s are chilling. Oh boy, yeah, you definitely might want to. Those dust bunnies come with the case. No, and that's what we're doing today. We're getting rid of the dust bunnies, getting them out of here. Okay, yeah. So starting off with, how do I safely, like, I've set up my PC. I mean, maybe you set it up a long time ago, or maybe someone else set it up for you, and you're just like kind of at a loss for words, where to get started. So, what I like to do is like take one of these cable ties, and I'll bunch up everything in the back of the PC. So like, you know, my cables for the graphics card, you know, USB devices, audio stuff, whatever, Ethernet. What I'll do is I'll just get everything, kind of bunch it up, put a cable tie, put a cable strap, whatever you have to cable manage, do that, because it'll make things a lot easier for you. That way, you know, once you're done cleaning the PC, and actually, if you need to work on your PC at all, if you need to do anything with your computer, it's as simple as just unplugging everything, and you don't have to worry about like losing cables or anything. They're all bunched together, and usually they kind of stick where they are, because even if they're all going in random directions, usually it'll kind of work out in the end, where they stick together. But yeah, so let's assume that you've got everything before you make your boyfriend watch this stream. Yeah, hopefully. So the goal today, hopefully this will be a really good experience, and we'll go over some good tips, and we'll make a video out of this. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Knock on wood. I'm not sure if that's even real wood. But yeah, so let's assume that you've got everything unplugged. You're all nice and tidy. Here, actually, I'll go ahead and I'll undo these. That def is not real wood. I think there might be real wood under it, honestly. That'd be a useful video. Yeah, and you know, I was kind of thinking about it. We could also maybe record some other videos while we're at it, like how to like update your storage, how to, you know, it's really fake. Like this is fake. I think this is like a print, and then I think under it is actually like some really shitty wood. But so anyways, to safely, so I have it off right now. Be better, maybe try this camera. Better, a little bit. So right now I have the switch in the off position. Just, you know, this might seem obvious to some people, but the circle is off and the line is on. I like to think about it as like, you know, if you have a connection or whatever, if it's a line, well, it's still connected, and if there's a circle, that means something's missing. Off. But yeah, so you just want to make sure it's off, and then plug. Hopefully, you know, you don't have to have things cable managed. I think it helps. I really like doing it. And then, so another thing that maybe some people struggle with, and would be nice to go over, is how the heck do I get in there? Every case is different, so you know, obviously I'm not going to be able to show you hands-on how to get into every single case, but there are some general things that all cases have. Crowbar, no. Do not take a crowbar to your beautiful PC. Blowtorch, blowtorch. We got 2 blowtorches. Okay. Any other chainsaw? Okay. Keep them. Now you guys got me curious. Now keep them coming. What else? What else we got? Thumb screws or Phillips screwdriver work best? Look at that. Jody giving us a real answer. What's up, Jody Fish? You shall gnaw at it with your teeth. Okay. Yours has thumb screws on the end of your top panel. Yeah. Yeah. Cases like the 011, I feel like have a somewhat unique way to open them. But really, there's kind of like, if you really think about it, I guess there's kind of like 2 main ways that, I guess maybe 3 main ways that the panels are secured to the case. So in this case, thumb screws right here, these 2 thumb screws. I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't try and put a number on it because there's a lot of ways. But I was thinking of thumb screws, like ball and joint, where like some of the cases that we work with, the panels just there's kind of like a ball and a joint thing, and they just snap together. Pretty easy to get off, but still pretty secure. There can be magnets, thumb screws, magnets. You have a push top. Oh yeah, buttons. Maybe sometimes if your case is really fancy, it'll have like a button. But I was thinking of this one. I would say, so you have the thumb screws here, and sometimes if the thumb screws are really tight, you can, like Jody Fish said, take a screwdriver and go for it. Hopefully it's like a Phillips head, flathead in some cases. Pat does not like flathead. Those designs are creative, if less durable in most cases. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Some toolless designs I feel like are pretty robust. Like that, the ball and joint one, you'd have to do a lot of opening and closing to wear it down to the point where it'd be a set of Allen keys for this very thing. Oh boy, that'd not be. I wouldn't be looking forward to that. Yeah. So, yeah, you want to check maybe the front of the your front panel. See if, I guess maybe side panel. And we need to come up with, like, the industry needs to come up with a convention for, because sometimes I would call this the front, but technically I guess this is your front. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, you want to check and make sure, see if there's any any obvious things. Do you like the case though? Yeah, funny enough, if anyone has watched the rebuilding my friend's computer, I actually did some cleaning in that one as well. He had the exact same case, the exact same, like exact same case. It's an interesting case. It's a, oh boy, I can't remember the model, but it's a Cooler Master case. So yeah, some of our models have like a door where it's just a door to open it, and then it's on hinges, and you can lift it up. Less glass, more Threadripper. Yeah. So this one has these 2 thumb screws on the front. There's some where it has 4 thumb screws. This one has the 2, and then there's like a kind of, the bottom has this little lip, like groove. That's how well you got. Yeah, that's a decent view. So this just sits on this part of the case. That's what holds it in down there. Sometimes, similar to how the back panel here has these screws here and here, sometimes the front panel will also have that. Really, the sky's the limit. It really does vary by case, but hopefully what I'm saying makes sense to most people and they can figure out how to open up their case. Like Trashy said on the 011, that case specifically, you have to remove some like captive screws up top. On the Evo, I think they got rid of the screws. So I think it's like a toolless design. You take the front panel off, and then you have access to your I guess side panel, front panel, and back panel. I think on the Evo they changed that though. Yeah, honestly it might be best to just if you know what case you have, just look up how do I open Cooler Master. I think it's like TD500 or something. How do I open Lian Li 011? That kind of stuff. I don't want to spend too much time getting bogged down in these details, but if you're like me, you want to be really careful about like touching the glass so you don't get thumbprints on it. But honestly, since we're going to be doing some cleaning today, I think don't worry about too much. If you get some Windex, I'll show you what I like to do for that. But so yeah, let's finally get the back panel off. That's like I mentioned earlier. There's these screws. Sometimes the screws may be captive, so that you don't want to keep on twisting them. Once you feel them kind of like drop out of place and be loose, and there's a lot of wiggle room, that's when you're done. Some may not be captive and they may just come off. Make sure you don't lose your screws. Yeah, this is oh boy, getting stuff on my feet. Yeah, this is why I said this one is not Phoenix PC made, and this is why I kind of wanted to redo some of the cables. Definitely not bad, but it's kind of one of those like it works kind of thing. So one thing I kind of want to bring attention to is honestly, this is not that dirty. This is honestly very not dirty. We have a low dust environment, no pets, not a lot of stuff in the office. Didn't check the box for cable management. Oh goodness, this was personally built by a family member. I don't want to give too much flack because they did a good job. Like if you could look at the front looks great. It does, but you have your little window here, and you got the little cables, little cable nest. But yeah, so if you live in a high dust environment, maybe there's just a lot of dust around, maybe you have pets or something, you really want to stay on top of cleaning, because this, I'm honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I'm not even sure how much I can clean, because with this I can probably just take a paper towel, go over it really quick, and be done. What kind of cooler is that? So yeah, I didn't want to get too much into the internals because one, I didn't, like I mentioned before, I didn't build it, so I don't know a detailed list of everything for sure. But I do know that this is a Threadripper build. This is a Ice Giant Thermosiphon, I believe is the model name. It's crazy. It's insane. I was actually kind of curious myself. This was an ATX or an eATX board. It looks to be ATX, if not maybe a little bit chunkier. See, we got X39. I can't read the heatsink has the board. What board is this? Can't even find the company. Yeah, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to get too bogged down in the details. Does it rip threads? That's how pants fall off. Oh boy. Um, yeah. So, and again, kind of what parts you have will kind of determine um, the best way of cleaning it. Um, and of course, maybe this video is a little more topical for more modern computers. Older computers can have very different layouts, so it can be a little bit intimidating. But is it being used as a rendering editing PC? Hopefully, not being used for games. Oh boy, let's let's move on. Let's not get bogged down in the details. Let's try and let you have your sillies. You're recovering. Oh, you doing okay? Oh, no, you can have your sillies, but it's alright. Hello, hello. So yeah, really, when cleaning, what I look at is, I mean, kind of just like common sense, right? Like what has dust on it, what has schmuck on it. Driving, so lurking. Oh, drive safe. Uh, there's a teensy medical issue yesterday. All Gucci now. Okay, glad you're okay. Hopefully you stay that way. Goodness. Um, but yeah. So, so yeah, what I looked at earlier is the bottom of the case, kind of like the surfaces of it, if you will. And as you can tell, with this white case, you can really easily see the dust collect here and down here in this area. But also you want to check on things like your graphics card, heat sinks, maybe, if you have a, shoot, I'm blanking on the words. Fan that's pointed down, what is that called? It's embarrassing. Get in there with them man hands. Oh boy. I feel, oh, I'm done. This ASRock. Yeah, this is an ASRock board. Yeah, basically you can get dust pretty much anywhere. But the fans are a really big culprit. Those can be really annoying to clean, so I'll go over how to clean those. And actually, I didn't take off the front. I'm gonna take off the front. Stuck on there, okay. Okay, that's front panel. And so here's another big thing I wanted to touch on is these things, dust filters. Hopefully they're doing their job. They are helping to keep your PC clean, right? So the idea is these things collect the dust for you, and this is a lot easier to clean off than this fans. I don't know if you guys how well you guys can see it, but we can see that there's some dust starting to collect on the tip of the fans. So real quick, let's talk about dust filters. Typically, you'll have them on the front, the top, maybe if your case has room for fans here, maybe there'll be some here. And usually on the bottom, let me take this back off. On the bottom where your power supply goes, if that's the kind of layout your case has, let's see. Yeah. So what's a good way to show it? Okay. And then down here where your power supply is, and it looks like she used a little bit of tape to keep it on there. I really hate this design where it's just a little tabby things that's keeping the dust filter in place. But I guess this is maybe somewhere where it's really easy to overlook it, right? Like you can kind of forget that anything is even down here in the first place. And very easy to forget. Surprisingly, this one is pretty darn clean. The fan is facing the right way, I think. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I literally can't see any dust on here, so I think I'm just gonna put this back. Yeah. So I think maybe one of the best places to start when cleaning your PC is the dust filters, because hypothetically those should be your dirtiest, dustiest parts of the case, besides maybe the bottom of it. This back in here. Okay. Oh, I hate these things. They're horrible at keeping them in place, and they pop out so easily. Okay. Yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that because it actually looks pretty darn clean. So how do you clean a dust filter? Well, there's a few different ways. Here would be my recommended way. If you're not planning on using your computer for a few hours, what you can do is you can just wash these with water. You can take it to the sink. You can wash it in water. Now, this is something you probably only really want to do if there's a ton of dust. There's a little bit of dust on here, not a crazy amount. But that way, you have to wait until it's completely dry before you put it back on, because obviously you don't want to introduce some moisture into your PC with all these sensitive electronics. Can you take it out back and beat it with a broom like a rug? You can. You absolutely can. But the reason I wouldn't suggest that as my number one way to do it is because there'll still be some dust left behind. When you have really fine dust, I can see that there's a little, if I get it in the light, I can see that there's a little bit of dust on here. The pattern matches the top of the case, but it's such a fine layer of dust. I don't really think that, I'll go get the can of air in a second to show you guys. But a vacuum, can of air, whatever, you can use those to knock most of the dust off, but there's always a little bit left behind. And if you're like me, that kind of bothers me a little bit. So I don't want to settle for a little bit of dust. If I'm going to take the time to clean my PC, I really would like there to be no dust, or the least amount of dust possible. But yeah, shop vac, vacuum, can of air. I think vacuums would be a lot more effective than can of air. I honestly, I'll recommend can of air because it's very simple. You just go, buy a few cans of air. All you have to do is, take this outside, hit it with the can of air. It's nice and quick. It'll get most of the dust off. It'll do you good enough. But what I would absolutely recommend is, if you have the time, wash it with water. So what if you don't want to wash it with water? You don't want to hit it with a vacuum or a can of air. You want a pretty decent clean, but you don't want to use water. What I would do, another thing that I've seen recommended and I've done myself, is paintbrushes. So if you happen to have any paintbrushes lying around, you can actually use the paintbrush and go over it with the paintbrush, and that'll knock the dust off. And it's a pretty good way to knock the dust off and not, preferably not covered in paint. Yeah, absolutely. Here, let me go actually get that can of air and some paintbrushes so I can actually show you guys. Okay, I definitely should have done this before coming on the stream, but it's all good. So what I have here, this brush really sucks. This is just this like easiest one I could grab. But yeah, any sort of brush should be good. Preferably you want a bigger one so that, because could you imagine like going over this thing with this? Yeah. New brush, yeah. And what you can do is you could get like a decently sized brush. You could brush off your why am I blanking on the word? You can brush off your dust filter, and then you wash the brush, and then that way you're not having to sit and wait for your dust filter to dry. You can just go straight to just washing the brush, and then you don't have to wait as long. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to show on camera, but there's like a little bit of dust. I have no clue if you guys will be able to see it like I can. I guess a little bit, right? Is that corner? Oh, if I can, maybe let me do this. So if we get it right here, okay, there you go. You can barely see it. So you can see right in this area. If I get it just right, you can sort of see that there's a line where this area is where I hit it with the brush, and then over here, there's still some dust. Yeah, and maybe let's see if I can go. Yeah, this would honestly be a lot easier with a much dustier dust filter, but you'll have to take my word for it. This is getting the dust off, and yeah, a much more effective brush would be a good way to go about doing that. But there's also just duster, compressed air, air in a can. There's probably a bajillion names for this, but this electronics duster, like some of them are, literally branded as electronics cleaners. And yeah, you just, you want to read the instructions on the can, but you can go over it with your electronics duster, and the area that I've went over with the duster just now, it is a little bit cleaner. I can see where I've done it, but there's gaps. There's some missing parts where there's still some dust left behind, and like I said, if I had a ton of dust on here, it'd get most of the dust off. But there's going to be that little bit left behind. Be careful if you search for electric air duster on Amazon. For some reason, there's something phallic on the search results. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's, yeah, don't be warned, I guess. Interesting, Amazon. We won't judge. We won't kink shame Amazon. But yeah, that's one method. And then these will probably be more useful later on, but I'm going to be using these disinfecting wipes as a proxy for just some sort of like damp towel. Sometimes what I like to do is just get some regular old paper towels, run it under the water, and then wring out as much water as I can so it's literally just barely damp. Basically drained all the water out of it. And that honestly is super useful for the fans, which I'll talk about next. Cleaning your fans. Yeah, so I'm gonna test. I actually have not tried to clean a dust filter with a damp towel or anything. And honestly, these disinfecting wipes are a pretty good idea because, they should use some sort of like alcohol or something that'll evaporate really quickly. So again, if you want to avoid that, waiting for the water to dry so that it doesn't mess up with your electronics, maybe this is a better way to do that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff in there, and I can't tell if that's like smudge like the liquid left behind, or yeah, this is why maybe I wouldn't recommend this for a dust filter, because now there's just a bunch of like fibers from the disinfecting wipe stuck in there. So that's why I would probably recommend water as the number one way to go about doing this, or a really powerful vacuum maybe. I do just as well, but cool. Honestly, I may run this under the sink or something. Yeah, in general, your intake should be a lot dustier than your exhaust. Really, not a ton of dust in here. I'm gonna try and hit it with a air duster to see. Blue Mechanics paper towels work really well. Yeah, that makes sense. Find something like shop towel that won't drop fiber. Maybe like a microfiber cloth as well. If your exhaust is dirtier than your intake, you have a major problem. Yeah, I don't even know how that would happen. Let's see, is there a difference? Not really. You're burning away. Does a pressure washer not work? I mean, on the dust filters, that would I wouldn't recommend it. You'd probably break it. But yeah, so that was one reason why I was kind of wanting to rebuild this. This is a little bit of a sidetrack, but if you notice, so yeah, let's talk about fans, right? So fans, I'll get to cleaning fans after this, but fans, they're gonna have two sides, a front and a back. And the way that I like to tell which is the front and which is the back is the center here on most fans, is gonna be kind of distinctive. You can really tell that like this is the front. But maybe the most important is if we look at the back, you guys can see that. The back has the actual supports, right? These will have like the wires running through them, and it'll be connected to the fan housing, so that your fan can actually, be supported and not, fly off or whatever. And so the airflow is always going to go from front to back. So what I like to do is imagine myself pointing at the front of the fan and into the back of the fan. So I know that this fan is an intake because I'm pointing at it and air is going into the computer. So if I do that on this fan back here, this back fan, it might be a little hard to see on camera, but I can see that here's the supports. So this is the back of the fan. That means the front of the fan is here. So if I point into the fan, okay, so this is also an intake, okay? If I look at these fans up top, I can see the back of the fan. So that means that, and also these fans down here, I can see the emblem. I can see there's no supports. So if I point up, all these fans are exhausting, pushing air out of the case. So we have intake, intake, and exhaust. Now I think I maybe was a little too hasty in the past because for some reason I thought that they were all intake, but that is not true. Been forever since you managed to catch a stream. Had your motherboard fail June 13th. Oh boy, that sucks. I'm guessing you have it replaced now. Yeah. So like we said earlier, we would expect the most dust here, but this doesn't have a dust filter. It just has this grill, which is fine. Some people like to remove dust filters because it gets more airflow. Repaired, got it back on the 7th. Heck yeah. So yeah, let's get back to cleaning real quick. I'm just gonna with the disinfecting wipe, the wet paper towel, whatever you want to use. I'm just gonna clean this off, and this is why I don't necessarily love using disinfecting wipe like this, because these aren't really best for like cleaning up dust. I'm just kind of like moving it around, and now I'm gonna try and up. Actually, this might be where you go over it with like a wet paper towel, and then you come back and then hit it again with a dry paper towel. Right now, I'm just kind of pushing the dust, concentrated dust, onto that corner. Let's try hitting it with the dry paper towel. Okay, yeah, so that's a lot better. There we go. Heck yeah. That's nice. I like that. That's a lot better. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't very dirty in the first place, but that looks great to me. Yeah, now I'm gonna real quick just go through here. And then I'm gonna try and hit this little patch over here. Weber wipes do wonders, anti-static, no lint fibers. Yeah, this is just what I had on hand, honestly. I know that there are much better products out there. This is what I had on hand. Yeah, definitely listen to these guys. Get yourself, like, look into some of these options that they're talking about. But you can get pretty far with just some regular old paper towel and just getting it damp and stuff. I think there's a little bit of dog hair. If anyone has favorite product suggestions or techniques, shout them out. Heck yeah. Yeah, Jody Fish mentioned Weber wipes. We talked about like blue mechanical wipes. I've never used them, but I definitely know what you guys are talking about. Have heard of them. Yeah. Okay, so that was pretty easy, but I will say that again, this is honestly a surprising amount of dust. There's like very, very little from what I would expect. And I think that's just a testament to the low dust environment. But yeah, definitely, you know, there are some that have high dust, pet hair. Really, sometimes it won't be that easy. Sometimes you'll really have to get in there. And speaking of getting there and cleaning it, fans. Fans can be pretty, wait, what the heck? Interesting. Sorry, I just noticed that these don't use screws. They use like, I don't even know what to call it. Like how similar to how the clips, like plastic clips. Like a, interesting, sorry. Try having a cat glued to your 360 rad 24/7. Yeah, at least that's exhaust though. Like, could you imagine if it was sitting on intake? Um, Has never cared about PC, luckily. Goodness. Do those fans use plastic rivets? It's weird. This bottom one is using like plastic. I don't know if rivet. Like I'm not sure, but it's like a clip action instead of like a screw, and the rest use fan screws. That's yeah. Sorry, that was a little detour. Fans are like my nemesis. They can be very difficult to clean if you want to get them really clean. Like if you want to get them looking like new, it's incredibly difficult because, you know, not only are you going to have dust on the tip of the blade, you're also going to have it on the blade itself. Actually, let me... So, you can do what I'm doing, go blade by blade by hand. If you really want a detailed clean, you want it looking like brand new. But obviously, what is the easiest and what I suggest to people, because it's the easiest, quickest way to do it, is if you want to use the air duster or a vacuum or whatever. If you want to use air to clean your fans, there's just one important thing you need to know, which is to stop your fan from spinning. I'm not going to do it because we are sitting here in the stream room. I don't want to blow dust all over the inside of the computer in the stream room and stuff. But you want to stop your fan from spinning, whether that be holding here or maybe you just stick your finger in. When you blow, you're gonna actually be removing the dust and not just uselessly making the fan spin. You can actually make the fan spin faster than it should be spinning, and that can actually mess up and damage the fan. So be very careful if you're using air to clean your fans. You want to actually clean them and not break them, but I'm gonna just chill out for a minute and just clean the tips of these blades by hand. Phoenix PC and Ryan computer detailing. Oh boy. Listen, if you're not too busy and you have a day, it can be pretty fun to get in there and get familiar with your computer and really clean it and make it look like new. Because it's a lot of hard work, but whenever you're done and your computer is looking like brand new, it's a really good feeling. It's nice. I would highly recommend it. Yeah, that's just all I've done is just get the tips of the blades, right? So if you want to get the actual, because there'll be dust on the tips of the blades, on the blades themselves, in the housing, around the housing, the supports everywhere. What I like to do is so I will stick my finger kind of diagonally through so that I'm most of the way through, and then I can actually go all the way around, get all that dust out of there. And a lot of this stuff is pretty obvious, right? Like, you can figure out how to get in the grooves of your own fans and stuff. Obviously, it's a lot easier if your fan is actually out of your system. So if you want to go the extra mile, you can actually just rebuild your computer. But obviously, that's something that like we would do, and probably not the average person. Use air to clean your fan blades. Make sure. Yep. Not to mention the practical lifespan element of your components. Excessive dust can lead to premature fan bearing wear. Excessive amounts of dust can also lead to increased temperatures in your case. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So why should you care, right? Like, you don't care about your PC being dusty. You don't care how it looks. Why should you spend the time to clean it? Because maybe there are some people out there that feel that way, right? Yeah, that like Desiree said, excessive dust can actually impact the performance of your computer, right? I mean, and it just makes sense. If there's a ton of dust, then it really can make your fans not work as well. It can impede airflow, so you can actually be choking off some of your parts, not cooling them properly because there's just so much dust, not letting air flow through. And I almost wish that I had a super dirty PC to show you guys. Maybe we might do a take 2 or something. Come back another day, try this again with a really dirty computer. But yeah, it's especially if you have something like we were kind of, I think, joking a little bit about the Dell Optiplex and stuff. Those things, they're old computers, right? And so you've probably, if you actually have one, you've probably been using it a long time. Well, I do know that there are new Dell Optiplexes, right? But I feel like for the most part, you have a good old Dell Optiplex, is probably pretty old. It's probably not a new computer. And if you've been using it for 5, maybe in the extreme case, 10 plus years without ever cleaning it because you didn't know you need to clean your PC, that thing is going to be disgusting. So yeah, dust gets to a point where it just sticks. It doesn't come off, it just sticks. Well, it doesn't come off easily. It doesn't come off with the air duster. It usually will just be caked on there, and you really have to do what I'm doing and get a nice towel or something a little more substantial to clean your PC. So I guess one thing worth mentioning is one of the things I've done is I mentioned using water to clean your dust filters. Please do not use water on any of your other components. So a dust filter, has no actual it doesn't actually move, it doesn't actually do anything, has no electronics, obviously. So for that, if that gets wet, it'll dry off and it's good to go. As long as it's not introducing some water into the system, you're fine. But something like a fan, you don't want to use water because even though it might clean it pretty well, don't absolutely let it 100% dry and fry itself. Maybe, I don't know, in the extreme case, I have no clue. Might fry something else as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over the top real quick with this paper towel, get any dust that got left behind here, because sometimes your dust might be deposited elsewhere on the case and not just on your dust filter. Yeah, honestly, like I mentioned, if I really wanted to, I could actually go about rebuilding this. I could actually take everything apart and clean it that way. But honestly, uh, this is with how clean this is. I really, don't want to go through all that trouble um, because just what we've done right now, uh, honestly, this should be good for another. Well, I think it's been over a year since this one was cleaned, so um, maybe this isn't the best. I kind of wanted us to go for a more scared straight approach, but this is the opposite of scared straight. This is like a really good scenario to be in. Yeah. Hey, pseudo quasi. Hello, hello. Um, Horizontal surface, airflow or not, can collect dust, particularly when the computer is off. Yeah, absolutely. Smoke or vape or live with someone who does, make sure you clean your PC a lot more frequently. The oils from smoke make dust very sticky. Yes, that is a very good point. I'm actually glad you brought that up. So, yes, smoking, vaping, it's not just introducing more, particles into the air, which would, obviously kind of kick you up to what I would call a high dust environment. Yes, like Disray said, there's also, the other chemicals and stuff can make it a little bit sticky. So, I've dealt with some PCs that I've cleaned in the past where the person, did vape, and it definitely, left a residue that made the case a little bit not as fun to clean, a little bit more difficult to clean. Um, from a purely hardware standpoint, please just vape somewhere else, not near your computer. Yeah, obviously we can't tell you what to do, but yeah, personally, we would highly recommend trying to do that stuff away from your computer. Um, or if you do that, just make sure to clean it more often. Yeah, let's actually talk about when you should clean your computer because we actually haven't done that yet. When should you clean your computer? I mentioned that it's probably been over a year since this has been cleaned, um, but that is because I've been lazy and not on top of things. What you want to do is what I would recommend personally, and everyone can drop in chat what they think. But I would say every 3 months is ideal. Every 3 months will be super easy. You get a duster, you get a vacuum, whatever, your favorite implement, you go over it really quickly, and boom, you're done. The dust hasn't had time to cake on there. It'll be super easy to lift off. It'll be just a cinch to go over it really quickly. Now, what about every 6 months? If you're in a low dust environment, you don't have a lot to worry about. Every 6 months, you can get by, right? Not ideal, but you should still be pretty good. Yeah, yearly is the like most I would go, because even though it worked out pretty well today, once you get to the year point is when I feel like dust starts taking on. This Ray says clean it once a week right after you wash your car. Absolutely. If you can do that, if you want to do that, more power to you. That'd be awesome. But some of us, let's be honest, right? Like, is your computer easy to get to? Like, if I said, hey, unplug your computer right now, and let's open it up and let's work on it. How long would it take you to do that? Would it take you, less than a minute? And I feel like in a lot of cases, probably not. I know my computer, I have it pretty decently situated, but it still take a little bit of maneuvering. I'd still have to kind of maneuver around to get it out. That was a joke. I know that was a joke, but I mean, let's be honest, right? With anything, the more you take care of it, the better. So if someone wants to like clean it every week, go for it. You know who's 64? Hello, hello. Bring your PC in the shower with you once a month. Heck, I mean, I think technically, if like you can absolutely guarantee that there's no water left over, I think, you know, we all joke about it, but I think technically, you can do that. But don't do that. Don't ever do that. You're not going to be able to guarantee that it's going to be completely dry. And I could also just be wrong. I'm not actually sure about that, but you also. So here's another thing I was going to mention, but I forgot to. We have it somewhere around here. Where is it? Here we go. Some alcohol, some isopropyl alcohol. So this is really nice for if you really need to like get a deep clean going, because this will evaporate and it won't mess up your components. We were really surprised with, you know, recently we used this, and we really were afraid of, you know, how viable some parts would be after, you know, getting in there and deep cleaning, and actually didn't have any issue. It was actually really good. You do need to be careful though what you use this on, because like this cooler seems to be mostly made of metal and stuff. I'm not really seeing a lot of plastic components. So that, yeah, like this GPU, it looks like this is like maybe some plasticky components. If you have like a paint that's painted over the plastic, the alcohol can strip that off. So if you do want to try and use this for cleaning, keep that in mind and be careful about that. But honestly, I'd say that's kind of overkill. I just wanted to mention it if someone does have something like a Dell Optiplex where it's been collecting dust for 15 years and downdraft, that's the word I was trying to find earlier. It has a downdraft cooler, and you pop off the fan and you really want to like clean the fan and the heat sink and stuff, because heat sinks are not fun to clean. Yeah, you can get some like isopropyl alcohol or whatever. For the most part, it'll probably don't need the alcohol for most PCs unless you're cleaning up vape residue. Yeah, that's a very good point. We talked about vape residue and like smoking and stuff. That'd be pretty good for cleaning that stuff up. But yeah, it's a little bit overkill. Like one of those computers in the fish tanks underwater. Yeah, and mineral oil PC. Yeah, so I'm gonna call the cleaning job here. Maybe on another day, I'll do a rebuilding this PC or whatever, and I'll go over some tips and tricks for cable management or something. But for now, I'm gonna say that we've done a good job. We went over some of the tips and tricks for cleaning. Joking, some of these people you haven't seen in over a year. Oh boy. Well, thanks for being here. So, doesn't seem right, but it is. Look. There we go. Clip-on front panels. Fuck. Oh goodness, I just saw your other message. Haha. Yeah. No banned words, banned phrases. Redacted here. We don't do that. Get the back panel back on, and Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna need to like look into some of the um, things that people have been suggesting while going through this, because honestly, some like shop towels or something would be much better than paper towels. Because one of the things I wanted to talk about was uh, handling glass. Because um, if you're moving around your PC, if you're you know taking it apart to clean it up like we've done today, um, here I'll do an extreme case. I'm just gonna oh yeah, real good. Nice, just get those nice and human oils all over, and that does not look good. That is not what you want. You don't want. Let me see. Can you guys see that? Huh? Hard. It's not. Oh wait. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. That is not what you want. You want to look at your pretty internals. You do not want fingerprints all over the glass. Ooh, fingerprints. That is not what you want. Um, know your handprint is in the way. So yeah. Uh, so we're done cleaning. We've got all the other panels on. Now, uh, get some glass cleaner, Windex, whatever. I'm actually gonna go grab some Windex right now, but glass cleaner, whatever. Uh, get that out. And I just realized if you're like me, you may be a little bit tempted to be a little gremlin and not remove the plastic um, whenever you get your new PC. So if you are being like that, don't do that. Take the plastic off. It'll look a lot better. Uh, it can be bad because like if it'll get toasty in there and you can actually like maybe actually make it harder to remove the plastic and stuff. Um, yeah, grab some glasses cleaner. Clean the back of the case. Do that. Get it nice and clean. Oh yeah. Get all those smudges, fingerprints off. And then be real careful about putting your glass back on. Obviously. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab it by the front, then hold it on the sides. And like we talked about before, your experience is gonna be much different. Different cases, much different. Removing melted plastic wrapping is generally one of the worst experiences to humankind. Yeah. Yeah, now we know that the part inside the computer is nice and clean, but we should still have that handprint. Yep, I can see it. Still should have that handprint on there. So yeah, my tip would be go ahead and put it in place. It may be hard to get to, but you're gonna be a lot better off if you don't have to worry about how you're handling the computer. I could grab it from right here, and I'm gonna leave some smudges and stuff, but I'm gonna pick it up and then do walkie. Okay, now I've put it on the desk, I've got it in position, and then now just go through and get the last remaining smudges off, and there you go. You should have your PC nice and clean. in position, and then you just gotta plug everything back in. Don't forget to plug your monitor, TV, whatever, your display into the graphics card. I still mess that up sometimes, so if you do that sometimes, don't feel bad. It's literally my job, and I still forget sometimes and goof up. Don't forget to turn the power supply back on. So whenever you go to press the power button and it doesn't work, you're not thinking that you broke your computer while cleaning it. And there we go. This is what I would call clean PC. One tip from how to clean is your house. When cleaning glass, go in horizontal direction only on one side, vertical direction on the other. Then you can see if you miss anything, but also which side it's on easily. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. So that actually opens up. That's a good segue. What are your guys' tips and tricks? Is there anything that you guys do that I missed that you would recommend to others? Because, you know, this is just kind of my perspective, the things that I've learned dealing with PCs, but I'm not going to act like I'm the end-all be-all. If anyone has any like cool tips and tricks, let's talk about them real quick. I'm gonna hop over to the captain's seat though, and we can wrap this up. An auto detailer trick? Okay. Yeah, like right now it's like a mirror. Like I can actually literally see the whole room. No smudges, nothing. Okay. Okay. Here, let me, I'll switch the PC so it looks good. It's likely something you already mentioned, but when you start, clean the dirtiest parts first. You'll end up doing some things twice if you start with the easy stuff and then knock dust free from other places. Yeah, that's actually something I meant to talk about, but kind of messed up a little bit. Yeah, I just kind of went in things as I thought of them. But yeah, let's talk about maybe the best order to go in. I would definitely say do any dusting first. If you're going to use a can of air, if you're going to do some dusting, vacuuming, whatever, do that first. Because you're going to dislodge and relocate some of the dust, and some of that's going to go inside of your PC still. So yeah, absolutely do that first. And again, so we just talked about some like common, easy ways to clean, but like I mentioned a couple times, another option is you can just rebuild your computer. My PC that I have like in my living room, it was my first gaming computer that I built. And you know, after I developed all these skills, started doing this as like a job, I wanted to spend some time and not only clean it, but redo my own cable management, right? And so that's what I did. I actually completely broke down the computer. I got to clean each and every part, and you know, I actually got to rebuild it, and then you can really go crazy. You can clean the wires because you know I didn't go over that, but dust collects anywhere. I think Jody Fish said it. Anywhere there's a horizontal surface, not even horizontal. If there's, you know, basically anything except for a vertical surface, there's a place for dust to land. So the cables inside of your computer, those can get dusty. One thing to make sure of is go over your card backsides. Yes. So I tried to talk about that a little bit, but yeah, that's good. Like, let's make it like 100% clear what we're talking about. The back plate of your GPU, like I said, like the tops of your fans, heat sinks, even vertical surfaces. If there's any hint of texture, yeah, there can be dust anywhere inside of your computer. But what I would say is be careful about cleaning the back of your GPU because that I don't think we're gonna. Yeah, we can see it. This computer, you can see that this one actually doesn't have a backplate. Not all GPUs have a backplate. Some of them are just the exposed PCB. And you want to be careful about what you're using to clean that, because you don't want to use a paper towel, right? Because then that's just going to get shredded by the soldered connections on the back, the like pins coming out and stuff. What I would recommend is maybe just doing your best with air, with an air duster, vacuum, and honestly, maybe just leaving it there. But if you really want to go above and beyond, that's a situation where I feel like it may actually make a little bit of sense to use a tiny bit of alcohol. Maybe use alcohol and a paintbrush, like we were talking about, some kind of brush. Or yeah, damp cloth and blot, then use air to dry. Yeah. Blotting, that's a good suggestion. Your GPU is vertical mounted, but there's still area to get dust. Yeah. Really, and so another thing we didn't talk about is there are like electric air dusters. So if you don't want to keep on going out and buying the cans of air, you could invest and get a electric air duster. I personally have no experience with that. I don't have one. I think it's something I'd be interested in getting, but that maybe if you have the budget, maybe that's something that you would want to do. It's probably pretty convenient. I don't know any good ones. I don't know if there's like issues with like a lot of bad ones or anything. If you use a brush, use something with very soft bristles. Absolutely. And that's why I've been saying paintbrush. Obviously you want to paintbrush with no paint on it. Someone said that, but where is it? Right here. This one is I think I was wanting to do some club activities in college, and we were going to do some painting, and I just wanted some really cheapo brushes that we could kind of throw away afterwards. That's what this is. But yes, like actual paintbrush that actually has soft bristles. You'd want to use something like that. And don't use it every time. Okay, I took my PC through the car wash now and don't work no more. Goodness. Cut end brush is fine for most areas of the PC that aren't PCB or detailer's brush. Replace the CMOS battery. Yeah, does anyone have any questions? Any comments? Any suggestions that we haven't talked about? How about laptops? Oh boy. Yeah, we can we can try and talk about that. Got some great tips here, good advice. Oh, thank you. 8-year-old laptops, hypothetically speaking. Goodness. Okay, yeah, give me 1 second. Okay. So, here is my laptop. Honestly, I would say that a lot of things we've talked about today still apply to a laptop. The only thing that's different is maybe you want to do like keyboard cleaning. And honestly, we could probably do a little section on cleaning keyboard and mouse, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know too much. I definitely need to clean keyboard, mouse, and all, but a bit lazy on that front as well. So yeah, maybe we'll come back to that one. You've never had mine open enough to expose fans since you bought it. You notice the filters in your case do a pretty good job, but some dust still gets in. Absolutely, right? The dust filters are there to help prevent dust and make it easier for you to clean, but they don't, you don't want to choke off all the airflow. They're gonna let some dust in, and that's okay. The idea is to get the majority of the dust, not to get all of it. So you are absolutely still gonna get some dust in your computer, but that's okay. It should be a lot less dust, using an air filter versus not using it. But yeah. Hey, what's up, Lorky? Light is up. The laptop. A lot of the things we've talked about still apply to laptop. I'd say the biggest difference is actually getting in here, right? Because with the case, we talked about some common ways to get into your case. That basically does not apply to the laptop. And I actually don't have a ton of experience with laptops, so again, it's like we said with the PC case, probably the best advice is just look up your specific model, look up how to open up. This is a ThinkPad 470p. Yeah, so I would Google how to open up ThinkPad 470p, and most likely there's someone that wanted to work on their laptop, right? And they wanted to get in here. I can go ahead and tell you that there's like a bajillion screws that have the tiny Phillips head that I have to loosen to get this thing off. And then after that, this model specifically, I have to take out, yeah, it's right here, the like SIM card thing or whatever. So yeah, be careful about that. I guess maybe some general advice would be look for screws on the bottom, and if there are anything, obviously make sure there's nothing plugged in, make sure that there's nothing kind of inside that's going to stop you from taking the plastic off. I don't know how many times I've forgotten about the little thing for like a SIM card or whatever, SD card, and felt like I was gonna mess it up. But once you get the back off, probably the biggest thing is gonna be your CPU cooler, right? This laptop does have like some right here. There's some like area for airflow, so that can get dusty. But But there is a lot of, you know, be careful. Manufacturers sometimes prefer to put screws under the LRFs. Yeah, so sometimes if you have like little feet pads or something, sometimes you actually have to like take those off and the screws are under there, which is very unfortunate. Laptops, not very user friendly. That's why, like, I think stuff like Framework, if you watch Linus Tech Tips, you probably know what I'm talking about. They're a really cool company that is trying to like laptops a lot more easy to like self-manage, like self-work on, repair and stuff. But again, like likely you'll be able to have access to like CPU cooler. Try and like stop the fan from spinning. Try and get like an air duster, vacuum, whatever. And yeah, for the most part, there are some transferable skills from what we've talked about today. Yeah, that's all I can think to say about laptops without just taking this one apart, which, like I said, tiny screws, I don't really want to do. Yeah, if no one has any other suggestions on like their cleaning tips or questions, I think we'll look for someone to raid. Start doing that. Laptops are crazy. They're basically a whole different beast. Yeah, we did have a short stream today. Just wanted to do something a little more like something PC related, but that isn't building. Like I said, two birds with one stone. I get to do some cleaning. You guys get to see me actually doing it and can ask questions. Yeah, I'm not seeing any pressing comments, questions, concerns. So we're gonna go ahead and raid. We haven't a raid target. Okay. You know, I think we haven't raided Robin in a little bit. So let's raid Robin. Please, please, please. Show Robin some love. Show him that we're cool people. And yeah. We'll be back Wednesday for a build, I believe. If I'm remembering correctly. So got a build Wednesday, and then no plans for Friday yet, but if I can come up with stuff in time, I may try and maybe we'll do like keyboard mouse cleaning or something. Some other aspect of like PC stuff that isn't today. Or we'll just do some gaming, we'll see. Hope everybody has a good night though. See you guys Wednesday. Okay. Okay. Bye bye.